Hello everyone, my name is Perpetual Cudjoe from West Africa and I'm in the History and Archaeology track.
Hello, my name is Domenic Caturello. I'm from the United States and I'm studying the Politics and International Relations track.
Hi, I'm Yuwei from Shanghai, China, and I'm also on the History and Archaeology track. Today we are at the Liangzhu Historical Site and we have just visited the Liangzhu Museum. So what did you find most impressive about the museum?
Yeah, so that's a very good question. What I found most impressive about the museum is the fact that it focuses on the Liangzhu civilization and it looks more into the roots of Chinese culture and its civilization. We get to learn more about their rice civilization, their craftsmanship. We get to know more about their spiritual aspect or their ritualistic aspect, which I think is very, very interesting as someone who is studying history and archaeology in China.
Agreed. I think what was most interesting to me was just that before coming to China, I knew that China was had a civilizational history of over 5,000 years, but I wasn't really aware of the specifics of how these folks lived 5,000 years ago, all this. And so I hadn't heard of the Liangzhu culture before. So having this introduction was very, very meaningful for me. I was really amazed, in fact, by the artifact exhibits that there were at this museum, how really intricate details, even on these very, very fragile objects, have been maintained so well over 5,000 years was very interesting to me.
Yeah, I totally agree with Storm. And I think there's one exhibit that impressed me most was that there's a scene which mimics like the Asian people at Liangzhu times, and also there were scenes about the archaeologists who were excavating the Liangzhu site, and they were put together, which makes a bridge between the past and the present. And it impressed me a lot about the continuous development of Chinese civilization. And also, I have another question. So, how did the visit to the museum change your view about your understanding Chinese civilization or history?
Yeah, so one thing I loved is that coming here has been able to challenge the conventional view that Chinese civilization probably started during the dynastic era, because we now look into the Neolithic era and you get to see that there was a more sophisticated society before the popular dynastic era. So I think that has changed a lot of my perception and knowledge of Chinese history. Yeah. And then one thing I'll also mention is that the layout of the museum was impressive. It was so outstanding because then you get to view, you get to have a reflective past of the Chinese civilization during the Neolithic era. It's like a balance of the past and the present. It's very outstanding and interesting. I loved it.
Well, that's a very informed answer. As somebody with a little bit less experience in archaeology, I just found this interesting because I'm taking a course this semester on Chinese cultural heritage studies. And so this was really my first time being able to see, for example, a UNESCO cultural heritage site and how this history is being maintained actively in the field, sort of in person. And so that eyewitness perspective for me was very meaningful.
Yeah, exactly. And also, I think the visit made me think about like how people were able to be organized to do such sophisticated things like without a mature system of writings. And also, I was like deeply amazed by the achievements made by the Liangzhu people at that time. So I think the visit to Liangzhu Museum and also to Liangzhu Historical Site really broadened our horizons and also deepened our understanding on Chinese culture and history. That's all. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye bye.